It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON TV Channel 9 and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Sit back and enjoy the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, the Richmond Raceway, Nuevo Vallarta, and Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. And now, let's go live with your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Good evening and welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live at Jack Burford Chevrolet on WBON TV. I'm Michael Watkins along with Samantha Burford and Dawson Roll joining us once again here on a Monday night in Richmond, recapping an exciting week of high school football, the opening kickoff to the season, Samantha, and all kinds of other sports with big things happening. We got the Model Boys soccer team coming on with us later on. They're undefeated right now, dominating the boys soccer landscape here in Central Kentucky. We've also got boys and girls golf. Madison Central doing so well. Volleyball got us kicked off last week. So an exciting time to be a sports fan. But I feel like if we don't start off with that amazing football game we had on Friday night, we are doing an injustice to just how good that game was.
Don't you just want to run it on replay? Run it on replay.
I watched it like 3 times this weekend, over and over. It was awesome.
You are running it on replay.
You got Madison Central just the way the game played out. They ran the ball in the first half, had to throw the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
You got players coming off the field because they're cramping up. For them to win that football game was so important, I think, for the start of this team because, they've got confidence after what they did last year, and they even lost that first game last year to LCA. But to come from behind, to give up that late lead, and I talked about it on the air, there were people leaving the stands after that touchdown that LCA got.
In that
minute and 11
quarter.
to play, and those fans, hopefully they turned the radio on and listened to us or pulled their phones up in the parking lot to watch it on Facebook or YouTube, because if they didn't, they missed a heck of a finish. And, Dawson, you were right there on the sidelines to catch it. Also, Anthony, you went down and talked to Mike Holcomb afterward. Just an exciting time to be a Madison Central football fan, and what a game that was.
And you know what? Speaking of the interview at the end of the game, the most humble, laid back, very calm. Like, I feel like I'm screaming on my adrenaline. I am so pumped. I am excited and overjoyed. And then I feel like I am more pumped up. He was more worried about making sure that his kids went through the line, making sure that he hugged his wife, making sure that, they knew where to go after the game.
Well, and I think the coolest thing, too, in the interview, Dawson, he says that it's how important it is for his kids. And he's so proud of his kids who battled through cramping and everything else they went through that night.
I asked him that.
And it was really cool to see him. He kind of shrugs it off. Yeah, it just means I'm old is what he said. And then he talks about the kids. I think that was really cool of Mike Holcomb to put the kids first. And, he could still be learning some of these kids. Yeah, he's been around. That's his second year. But, when you had Breathitt County, the roster here at Madison Central, it's a bigger school, many more players. So there's probably some kids still that Holcomb's still trying to learn his way through and how to coach them individually. Just, some kids you have to coach different than others. But he wanted to give his kids the praise for winning that football game on Friday night.
That's what people know Coach Holcomb about. It's never about him. It's never about his wins. He just got his 300th win. What do you think about your 300th win? Oh, it's all about the kids. They've been doing it for me. I've been around forever. He's such a humble coach, and you don't really see that from big-time winners and Hall of Fame coaches. It's just really rare to find, and Central's got a gem.
Yes, and he totally mentioned it's because of my great athletes, it's my great coaching assistants, and it's the great community support, he said. I mean, very humble and just kind. Well deserved of that 300th win.
One thing's for sure, the crowd was raucous on Friday night. They were there from the start to the finish. And, LCA, Coder Bowley, first of all, folks,
the real deal.
This kid is going to be a name that you're going to hear for a long time.
Precision.
Don't be surprised if eventually his name is going to be called in the NFL draft, because that's how good and that kind of potential that he has. Obviously, it's 6-7 years away, but that's where his career could eventually be heading. He's got all the tools to be a really good quarterback. But and there were several times in that game, that drive when they threw a 60-yard touchdown to their former quarterback. Okay, that was a punch. Madison Central punches back. LCA picks off a pass. Madison Central punches back. Just so many times where Central would take a blow and they would punch right back. And I was really impressed with how they did that, considering in that second half, they had to kind of get away from what they normally do, which is run the football. Brady Hensley ran it up, I think, 19, 20 times in that first half. And then in the second half, they had to kind of get away from that because Hensley's over there on the sideline trying to get his cramping issue taken care of. So they had to throw the football, especially on that last drive. And I know Hagen Harrison, he's not really a strong throwing quarterback yet. But give the kid credit. He made plays when they were needed to be made. He bought himself time in the pocket. And I tell you what, he was fired up after that touchdown to Jaden West, as was everybody else. But just an impressive job by West to bring his team down the field and score that touchdown late in the game.
Without most of the second half, not only did they not have Hensley, I mean, Harge is out for a while, too. That's two of your big guys on offense and defense with all the Indians playing both sides of the ball. And with 1:11 left, they were able to make the plays. Even with some flags, too, they still came back and won that game against a great LCA
What do you
team.
think about that touchdown they didn't get because of the penalty call?
Yeah, that was a rough one.
I had to get up and walk out of the press box.
I was like, calm down, Samantha.
I was walking out. I was like, I could not be on the mic right now because I was so mad.
Well, I think the most impressive thing was they gave that touchdown, or they had that one taken away from them. And I'm sitting up there in the press box being like, okay, we got to kick it. Let's kick the field goal. Let's tie it up. Let's go to overtime. Instead, they get two more plays off in 12 seconds. They had the pass interference with Hensley in the end zone. Gets them to, I think, the 9-yard line. Very next play, they have West on the right side. They motion him to the left side to get one-on-one with Evan Brown. And Hagen Harrison puts a beautiful ball up in the air. And Jaden West makes another nice play, his third touchdown catch of the game.
Well, wait, you had to get it down the field. I mean, you had Grant catching the play, too.
Grant made a nice catch. And it was the first time they even threw to Grant all game. Just Hagen Harrison making some nice plays. The receivers making plays. Hayden Kaiser caught a nice ball during the game as well.
I couldn't even sleep that night.
I was so excited. And, I mean, listen, if it was any of our teams, we would feel that way. If
if it was Southern or Berea, I'd be hyped.
The way they played, the way they came from behind, the emotion of falling from behind and then a 1-minute drive to get down the field and score the game-winning touchdown, just really impressive.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
2 seconds
and it's
left
like
on
we've
the
been
clock.
waiting all summer for football, and that's the first sight we get at it. We were letting all the energy out. It was so exciting for it to end that way.
And listen, when they opened up the game and there were so many face masks that weren't called.
Holdings.
And just different, I was getting frustrated, and I was like, we need to be doing the same, obviously. Coach Holcomb, call him.
Tell him to do it,
but then that's not him.
No, well, I mean, you can't do that because that's whenever the flag will get thrown.
Yeah, that would get thrown. I know it, but I was just getting frustrated that the refs. You got to remember it's their first game, too.
Here's the stats from Friday night. Harrison, 10 of 18, 3 touchdowns, 114 yards passing, did throw the 1 pick. Brady Hensley, 23 carries, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. Harrison ran for 77 yards as well. Jaden West, 6 catches, 74 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kaiser and Grant both caught a ball at the tight end spot, and Hensley caught 2 catches as well. And defensively, I mean, Hayden Kaiser, 11 tackles.
I wrote
really
all that
impressive.
down.
And then Brock Eads, you had Leo Sotelo making a big play. Eads knocked the fumble out. Sotelo made the block punt. The interception by West on defense. Just big play after big play leading to that Madison Central victory.
And big guy Malachi. He only got the 4 tackles, but...
Well, here's the thing about Malachi. That's not really his normal spot.
Yeah.
But he can be a weapon that you deploy at that position. But still, when they run behind Malachi Wood, it's almost going to be a guaranteed 4 or 5 yards every time.
I mean, if you have him on defense, like Michael said, it's just added extra. It's like you've already got a good defense line. You throw him in there, as long as he doesn't get hurt playing it too much. They mostly need him on the O-line. But, throw him in on the D-line here and there. Maybe you can get a good tackle.
And I have to admit, I got a little concerned in the fourth quarter. The game really slowed down because of all the cramping. And I thought, well, this is going to be good experience
for the young guys,
the young guys coming in. They're going to be prepared for the next game. And the next game, if someone gets injured, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But, I mean, it is getting them the playing time that they deserve and need. But, man, when you got Kenyatta and you got Hensley out there on both sides of the ball, I can't imagine.
And West, Malachi. I mean, there's a lot of guys going both ways.
Yeah, and the cramping. It just slowed the game down. Yeah. And I just kept thinking, this is not going to suit well for us in the end.
Let's hope that changes as they make their way throughout the season, and it will. I mean, they'll get in better shape and that kind of. They'll get in football shape. No matter how much you run, it's different getting out there and using all that energy under the lights on a Friday night.
Oh, for sure. They had the heart. They had the want. they did it and they pulled it through, and we couldn't have asked for a better football game. And our numbers were skyrocketing on that game.
Yeah, well, and rightfully so. It was a great game. Statewide, people were wanting to tune into that one. I talked to Troy Howe, who works with KSR's son. We were talking on Twitter. He actually
they were there. Somebody was there. I saw him down there.
He's working on a man cave right now at his house, and he watched the game the next day. Had it pulled up and sent me a tweet of him watching the game inside his house. So just really cool.
KSR had somebody at the game, which all the news crews were all there.
Well, I mean, big game. I mean, you got number 12 versus number 6 in the state. Everybody wants to be there to watch that one. Now, over in Berea, Madison Southern led 19-0 in the first half, led 19-6.
And we were all jumping up and down for that, too.
And we thought that's a big, if they can hold on, that's a big win. They go a 19-6 lead into the fourth quarter, but allow 3 touchdowns in that fourth quarter and fall 27-19. Tough loss for Mark Payne and his guys, but I think that's got to give them some confidence as they start the season. You got a lead like that against a team like that. That's pretty impressive showing for them to come out of the gates like that.
Yeah, big rivalry. Plus, that's Mark Payne's former team. So, he knew the plays.
Assistant coach with them last year.
As a defensive coordinator for the last 3 years. So they also knew what he was going to pull, too. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of knew each other's strategy. It seems like they just went in at halftime, Southwestern, and just kind of changed up their game plan.
Well, Southern caught a lot of people off guard. I think they're kind of putting themselves on the map this year. Like, hey, we almost beat Southwestern, one of the best 5A teams. We lost, but this is only the first game. We're only going to get better. So,
think about it this way, too. Ethan Woods, not a great first game for him as far as his efficiency. Did go 8 of 22, but on those 8 completions, 162 yards. I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's a lot of yards per completion. He threw the 1 touchdown pass, and Jay-Sean Etheridge, I love Jay-Sean Etheridge. This kid, I mean, he looks like he is going to – he looks like he would be a big-time college football player. Etheridge makes 5 catches, 137 yards, 1 touchdown. And the 1 touchdown he had, he caught the ball on like a screen pass, got hit, went down, and kept his balance to stay afloat. Stands up, takes off up the sideline, and scores, I think it was a 58-yard touchdown for Jay-Sean Etheridge. And then Stephen Whitehead, 18 carries, 76 yards, a couple of touchdown runs for him.
We're not surprised about that at all.
No, Whitehead, that's what I said in the newscast today. Whitehead doing Whitehead things, 2 touchdowns on the ground. So the weapons that Southern had out there, not surprising to me that those guys were able to do what they did. I think they've just got to get more confidence, get more experience in the Mark Payne system. And as this season goes along, Southern will pick up some nice wins throughout the year. They have a tough test on the road at GRC, who'll be much improved from last year this week.
Yes, I looked it up today. GRC beat Cooper 28-0. 5 kids, including the special team, the kicker. They had 5 kids score. So they got weapons.
Yeah. So pretty impressive night for GRC. So Madison Southern goes on the road to face them. We'll preview all these games later on in the show tonight. But for Southern, again, I think you got to feel good. Ethan Woods going to need some. This is his first career start. So he needs to get some experience under his belt. Yeah. And as this team goes along, again, I think they will be a much better team under Mark Payne throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah. They had 11 penalties, which cost them like 100 and some yards.
Yeah, it's hard to win that way. And early on in the season, again, those are things that you can work on, learning experiences. But against a team like Southwestern, when you have a lead like that, you've got to finish it off. Those penalties and some other mistakes that they made, kind of what led to them losing that game on Friday night. But Dawson, there are some pieces there to help Southern be a really good team this year.
The thing is, it's a good way to start the season losing that game, number one, because if you lose that game later on, it's tough. But you can make the excuse, it's the first game. We played a really good team. We're getting stuff together, and we can build on this. Other teams have done that too. Southern can be the same way.
Well, it's the same thing with Central last year when they lost to LCA. And we've said that Central last year caught everybody off guard with the season that they had. Southern has potential to be able to do that this year because they were predicted to finish 4th in their district, but they've got some weapons out there, and if they can just kind of make their way through the season, get better each game, then they could potentially make a run like Central did last year. Now, the 5A, there are a lot of good teams through this area in 5A. You talked about Southwestern. We can't forget about Frederick Douglass up there in Lexington. There are some big names in the area in Class 5A. But Southern has some weapons. I think if they can just figure some things out throughout the year, they'll be fine toward the end of the season.
You mentioned Frederick Douglass. I did want to give a shout-out to Cole Carpenter. He made a lot of plays on the news. He had a great game, former Madison Southern quarterback. Very proud of him, switching schools, learning new coaches. You got to be happy for the kids so I'm very excited for him.
Yeah,
and
no
that was a great
there.
first game.
Yeah, Cole's a good quarterback at Southern, so no surprise he goes up there with the weapons that they have, and he's able to kind of make some noise.
They made the news. At 11 o'clock, they showed him a lot and talked about him a lot, so that was exciting.
Berea goes on the road, and after that long trip up there, then they have the lightning delay that delays the game a little bit. So a tough way to lose for the Berea Pirates. And I talked to Tony Rose, the assistant coach, and he said that they didn't think they should have even played the game, but the way that the lightning and the atmosphere, after the delay, they thought they should have called it, but they wanted to. You make that long trip over there, you're there. You probably want to get that game in.
How far is Harlan?
I think it's like 3 hours. It's a long
close to 3 hours.
Yeah, it's a long drive over to Harlan County, and the Green Dragons much improved from last year. So I think once you get you're hyped up, get the game started, then you have to kind of come back down to earth and then get going again.
Hype,
That can be an issue at times.
And I do believe Berea beat them last year in the opening game.
They did at home here. So that make that trip over there this year. And they had some big plays. Jamil Cruz looked good, scored a couple of touchdowns. Colburn hit Cody Roberts on the touchdown pass. So they've got some stuff that they can build on as well. But taking that loss, I don't think it's anything to kind of hang their head about now.
And it wasn't a bad loss.
No, lost by 6, 28-22, and I think Harlan scored late to get the win. And one thing that Tony told me as well is that it was kind of an ugly game. There was a lot of pushing and shoving. There was a lot of flags thrown. So there are some things that Berea can clean up as they go into next week on the road at Nicholas County.
It's tough for Berea. So many of their opponents are so far away from Berea.
Yeah.
Sometimes they travel down to Jellicoe, Tennessee. You play them. They'll play Harlan,
they played them the last
KCD.
game.
It's like they're either at home or they're halfway across the state. So that's got to be tough for them.
We'll see how the Pirates get together when they come back to action on this Friday. So we'll preview those other
Nicholas
football
County
games
this Friday.
We'll preview some of those games whenever we come back later on in the show. But first, took a short commercial break, and when we come back, the Model Patriots soccer team, folks, has been on a tear to start the season. And Kashab Bendari, we saw him play basketball this year at Model. He was a lot of fun to watch on the basketball court. This kid's a really good soccer player as well. We'll talk to him and some more of the Patriots whenever we come back. Talk about their 5-0 start to the season here live on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond.
We can't wait to see ya.
Locally family owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation with 24/7 emergency services. Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue Avenue in Richmond.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. And unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Welcome back into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins, and now, Samantha, we are joined by the 5-0 Model Patriots soccer team, Coach Brayden Powell. Coach, first of all, hot start to the season for you guys, and you've had some impressive wins. You've won 3 times by a score of 10-0. Just talk about how the season has gone for you all so far, and was this what you expected from this team to start the season?
Yeah. So, it's great to, as a first-year coach with these boys, you can't come into a better situation. I have an experienced group, but we also have a great core of youth as well. It's been a great start. The boys have worked. They worked their tails off all summer. We expected to be in this situation. We fully expect to compete for the district title. That was the goal we set at the beginning of the year, and so far it's playing out the way we want it to, and we'll keep going from here. It's a great start, but, we have a long way to go.
So what have you guys done to get to this? You have 9 seniors, so you have lots of experience. But what are you doing? Like, what'd you do let's start there. What did you do to start the season, practicing all summer, getting ready with this group?
So I think the big thing was coming out and, setting that tone. We wanted to set the goal for the season. And we told each other, we said, everyone has to buy in. Everybody's got to buy into this goal. And, I asked them day one, I said, what do we want out of this year? And without hesitation, they said, we're winning district. And everyone bought into it. And, obviously there's a lot more that goes into the season than just winning district. But that was, that's the goal number one. Make it to region, get a seat at the table, go to state if we can. But, I think the big thing was just these boys, they dedicated, the whole offseason was we're going to work. And they worked. They've worked their tails off, like I said, and just, I as a coach, you can't ask for a better group. Seriously, these boys sitting beside me, these are 2 leaders, and they set the tone for sure. So.
Well, Kashal, we watched you play basketball this year, and I was impressed with you out on the basketball court just by the way you were able to make your ways through some of the plays and finish at the rim. But finishing at the goal is a little bit different, and you've done that 14 times in 5 games. So talk about the way that you have started the season and I guess the confidence that you all have right now after this 5-0 start.
I think our confidence level is very high right now. We're clicking on all levels. We're scoring a lot of goals. And I think more importantly, our defense is not allowing any goals.
Yeah.
So we're able to keep the ball most of the time and get more shots, and that's why we're scoring so many goals.
KP, if I call you that? Okay. All right. So you and Kashab and your brother, you guys are supplying a lot of the offense.
Twin brother.
Yeah, but you talked about the defense. You've only given up. We had 3 goals or two goals total throughout the year thus far. So talk about what you all are able to do defensively and what Maddox has done in the goal to help solidify this 5-0 start.
I feel like one of our main focuses in the summer has been on just defense, and we really focused on that throughout the summer, and it made it way easier for the game situations. We were prepared because Coach knew that one of our focuses had to be on defense because that was our weak point. So we worked all summer on that, and I feel like it's way stronger than what we started off at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah. And that was one of the big focuses coming in was, this summer, and, not a knock on last year's team or the coach last year, but, we gave up 67 goals last year. And I told them, boys, if we want to make it where we want to go, that can't happen. And, through 5 games, you've scored 40 goals or whatever it is and allowed 2. So, I think that means, they bought in and, and we defend well. And at the same time, we get up the field and we can put, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 past you, So I think we're a pretty well-rounded team, but, we're waiting for some more challenges to come our way and, we'll see where we're really at.
Coach, before we keep talking to the young men, tell us about yourself for those people watching that may not know a lot about you and how you got to this level.
So I'm 24 years old, so it's fairly young for a head coach. So I came from last year. I coached in Paris. I coached girls soccer. And that was definitely a different experience. I loved my girls team though. And I learned so much from that one year, and I wanted to find a new challenge for myself, so I kind of put my name out there, and then did some interviews, and Model kept bringing me back, and it worked out. But that's the big thing I think being a young head coach is I can relate to these boys because I was there not that long ago. So I can relate to them on a different kind of scale and then maybe a different level, and and we've all bought in, and I think there's that mutual level of respect where we can have fun off the field and joke around, but on the field we're all business. So like I said, there's definitely some pros and cons about being a younger head coach, but I got lucky.
True.
I got lucky.
Well, thus far, you talked about the teams you all have beaten: Rowan County, Bath County, Somerset, Estill County, Holmes. Those are some big schools, and you've got Trinity Christian and Somerset Christian School coming in later on this week. Got some big challenges here in the next month or so. You got Madison Central, you'll play Madison Southern, and those are kind of the the measuring sticks for you guys as to where you want to be. So talk about those two games, and maybe I know when you've only allowed 2 goals to start the season, you're off to a great start. But is there anything that you guys need to work on, that you want to get better at between now and those 2 games that come up later on, and then the district schedule later on in the postseason?
Yeah, I think we just need to improve on just like cohesion as a team, getting it from defense to offense more effectively, and then just getting better overall, keep improving each and every game to be ready for those district games.
Same question for you. What do you think you guys need to get better at to move forward and be able to win a district championship?
Same with Keshav. I mean, I feel like we're at a pretty good point right now, but every practice we take as a chance to get better. So we go out there and work 110% every day, and just trying to keep going up and up and make sure that we don't keep going down or staying at the same place. Every practice we try and give 100%, and it's pretty good.
Coach, I think it's important for them too to realize, okay, we're 5-0, everybody's patting us on the back right now, but we've still got to continue working to get to that next step.
And that's that's been another point of emphasis is just we don't expect them to be mid-season form right now. We want that climb. But that's the thing. We want to climb. We don't want to plateau.
Yeah.
So keep that rise going. And another big thing is, you got Southern and Central and those games on the horizon, but take it game by game. We got to focus on what's ahead of us right now. We can't be looking forward, because that's when you'll lose a game you weren't supposed to lose. So it's about keeping them focused, and we'll go game by game and keep improving.
Well, August 29th, you guys start in the All-A Classic. Yeah. So talk to us about that and how important that is for you all.
Oh, yeah, that's very important. We're very excited about that. We'll take a trip down to Lexington, play LCA, Lexington Christian Academy, and if we win from there, we'll see who we meet. But, that's another big thing. That's another goal that the boys have set as well, is we want to make it to that, the All-A tournament in Frankfort. We want to win the 11th region All-A and move on from there. We got some good schools, and it's just another chance for us to get better and play some better competition and keep going from there. I know the boys definitely are excited about that trip, and trying to get a chance to any chance we can get anytime we can try to get a chance to win some hardware, win a trophy, then we're gonna be excited for it.
Well, it says Trinity Christian is now in the 11th Region All-A Classic. Yeah. This is their first year in there? Right?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure. But, hey, that's another opponent. It's not in that tournament, but we'll play them. We'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what their status is. But
guys, when you've got Coach Powell and doing what he's able to do, changing some things up, giving you guys confidence, what have you learned from him in his short time with you guys that's kind of helped you all get off to such a hot start?
Well, I think we have really good chemistry with him. We're not afraid to go and ask for things or bounce ideas off of each other, and we're able to feel more confident as a team overall.
KP, same question for you. I mean, it can be different at times, and coaches can have different relationships with their players. But what have you learned from him in this short amount of time?
One of the main things is, like Keshav said, we can text him on our little group chat that we have, and he'll respond in 5 hours, and there's no hard feelings. We know if there's something we're doing wrong, he's going to tell us, and he's just going to be honest with us. And we kind of have that relationship where we know that he just wants what's best for us, and so we just accept it and try and fix it.
How about with his with style of play, being a new coach, have you guys had to learn anything new or play different positions that it's challenging this year for you?
Yeah, as a team, last year we had a very unique style of play that contributed to a lot of the goals we let in. And this year we have a more like basic formation that we've all had to learn together. And we do a lot of work in practice, knowing how we like shift in games and stuff. And I think we've done a really good job adjusting.
I think for me personally, last year I played more defensively, and this year I'm up top. And so I've just changed as a player more offensively.
Yeah. Well, let's talk defense. Let's talk about Maddox Marks. Talk to us about your goalie. And I mean, he's doing something very special blocking all these shots.
Yeah, he's a great goalie. He's super tall, has great reflexes, and he can get almost any shot that comes his way.
Yeah, and I think Maddox is a bigger kid, but he's athletic for his size.
Yeah.
Now, I think that was really impressive when I saw him play basketball as well. You know, I played at a small school. I think when you guys are out there, when you play soccer and then you maybe run track and then you play basketball, do you think that helps you all when all of you guys are playing every sport together? Whenever you does it help you out there on the field know where the person's going to be or what to expect from the other person?
Yeah, I think our chemistry is a lot better because of that. We have a lot better communication and on-field chemistry as well.
That's what I was going to ask. How's the communication? Because it's so important out there on the field.
Yeah, I feel like with all the seniors we have, a bunch of us have actually been playing soccer together since we were like 7 or 8 on a club team. So we've already been playing for like 7 or 8 years. So that helps a lot because we know, like you said, we know where someone's going to be, and it just really helps us get an edge on all the opponents.
Cody Poffenberger, Bandari here with us, and Coach Powell. And Coach, I think with the confidence these guys have right now, how good does it feel with this 5-0 start? Obviously, you're confident in them right now, but what are you trying to tell them? Or what are you saying to them to keep them to keep going further up?
Yeah, one of the things is I think these guys can attest. I'm very competitive. I'm fiery. I'm emotional. I'm just like one of them. Whenever before a game, I'm jumping around. We're yelling and stuff like that. And I think I want to show them. The big thing is, I try to tell them, I'm like, guys, this game doesn't last forever. So take advantage of this because I know there's so many guys, whether it's soccer, football, whatever, that would love to throw the cleats back on and play. Yeah. So I'm trying to show them like this doesn't last forever. So love every single moment of this. Because you never know when it can end. So that's been the big thing. And I think, they've kind of started to realize that and understand that, hey, this for some of us, this is our last ride. And like he was saying, a lot of these boys have been together for so long. And that's why I think, they're so emotionally invested into this. And, they really, when they said what their goal was, they didn't just say it, they meant it. And they, continue to show that day in and day out, whether that's, they're on the practice field and the game field. So.
You guys got to be thankful, too, now that COVID's still a thing, but we're past the wearing mask and you're able to have fans in the stands again and play normal games.
When you're 5-0, the crowd's got to come out and support you.
Mm-hmm. How exciting and how different has that been this year because you guys have everybody supporting you?
Yeah, it's for me personally, I didn't play my sophomore year soccer because of COVID, so it's just it just helps me like not take it for granted because I know at any point, maybe our season could get taken away from us or from anything. So I just try and just live it to the most.
Yeah, I mean that we played last Tuesday. We played Somerset. That was a team that went to the second round of state last year. It was a big our big first test, and they tied it up 1-1, and we scored I think a minute and a half later. Took the lead back, and I mean just that emotion. I mean everybody. It was just it just felt like hey this is what it should be. So we all. We celebrated pretty well as a team afterwards. It just, it's just a good feeling.
You've had a ton of home games to start the year. You'll have 2 more later this week. Trinity Christian at 5:30, Somerset Christian School at 6 on Thursday and Friday, right?
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday.
So Wednesday you'll play Trinity Christian's Somerset Christian School on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And then LCA, you'll play them on August 29th in the first round of the 11th Regional A Classic. Mm-hmm. Some chances to watch these guys come play, folks. So if you have not been out to watch these Model Patriots play, a couple of chances to do so later on this week. Get out there and support them. They've got some big goals in mind, so cheer them on and give them a chance to do those. Guys, good luck the rest of the way. Congrats on a hot start. Looking forward to keeping up with you all the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk some EKU football. They had another scrimmage over the weekend, and we'll talk some preview these upcoming matchups for the local high school football teams. That and more coming up on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Coquetet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Locally family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation. With 24/7 emergency services, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. And unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Glad to have you all here with us as we talk more local sports here in the area. And Samantha, let's first talk about the Madison Central boys and girls golf team. What another great weekend for the Madison Central boys and the girls golf teams. Boys had a tough outing on Saturday, but rebounded right back in action on Sunday, winning the Judy Construction Invitational down in Harrison County. Clay Pendergrass shoots -4, 4 under par to win the individual tournament. Hamrick finishes fourth with an even par, and as a team, they are able to win the tournament as well. So Pendergrass wins his 5th tournament overall as an individual. The team wins their 5th as a team. So very impressive to see what they've been able to do. And in the girls, they've been in 9 tournaments, Dawson. They've finished in first. They've been in 10. They've won 9 of the 10 they've been in. And the one that they didn't win, they finished in second place. So really impressive what they're doing, yeah.
Wow, I mean, golf at Central right now, and we were talking about it last week, and at the other schools we cover too, but it's just really hitting at Central right now on both sides. I don't remember it ever being this good for boys and girls, and 9 out of 10, that's a pretty dang good percentage, and the guys had a great weekend too, so it's really impressive.
And the Central girls has a B team as well.
Yeah, and
they play good.
And they're finishing 2nd or 3rd.
Well, you and I have talked about it for years that there's always probably 1 or 2 individuals that are really good.
Yeah.
But this year there's 3 or 4 on both teams that are that could be state championship contenders, which just helps the team overall as well. And I think,
and it's going to be for years to come.
Yeah, there's a lot of young talent as well. And you got to give the coaches credit. Coach Orr early on last week. She's going to be recognized in the Hall of Fame. Didn't know that she was a part of the Kentucky Women's Pro Golf Classic or whatever it's called.
I didn't either.
So it was
really, fun reading that about her.
And Kyle Congleton, I love Kyle. Talked to him last night. They were going to be on the show tonight, but Clay was going out to Louisville to do something. But the two head coaches, what they are able to do, and you've got to have good talent, obviously, but they're able to make sure that they take this good talent and put it in the right situation to win.
Right, because golf is obviously, we're doing it as a team sport for the high schools, but it is such an individual mental game. You have to stay calm. I'm going to call her E, but Elizabeth Eberle, she has won so many tournaments in playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's like the third hole getting a...
Well, there was one where she actually had a playoff against her own teammate. Her and Clara Beth were going back and forth, and Elizabeth won that one. And then I think in the next tournament, Clara Beth won. So
yeah, and I got to give a shout out too for the boys because Mason Hamrick, he shot an eagle on the first hole the other day. So that is so difficult to do. I mean, so many of them get birdies, on so many holes, but to get an eagle, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and the confidence they have, Dawson, too, is really impressive because we know they're good, but they're also able to, shake off a bad putt or whatever the case may be, and then the next hole, you move on and you keep playing well. And I think last year we saw that with the teams because you get rattled, you got to shake it up because you only get 18 chances out there on the golf course to be able to win a tournament. So you can't let one hole linger and cause you to lose a tournament. So you got to shake off a bad hole.
Well, the thing with golf is you can say, oh, maybe this is just a special class, but it looks like Central's building something, like you were saying, Samantha, with the B team. Maybe they could start a new tradition of being elite at golf with all these younger people coming in. And then you got to give credit to the people who have already graduated who taught these younger golfers who are now so good, how to be so great and techniques to be so good.
I think it was 2015 when the Central girls won the the state championship then in golf. So
they're definitely building something special, and we talked about it. We've been talking about it for a long time, but even
every week we're talking
on Saturday
golf.
We talked about just the talent pool in Madison County right now. It's not just golf. You got Kira O'Shea, who's an incredible athlete in track and field.
Yeah, she just won again.
Yeah,
on
so
Saturday.
You've got you've got basketball players, individual talent there.
Yeah.
You've got obviously some incredible football players, some baseball players always going on to the next level.
They're supposed to be in the top 20 in baseball. I had a baseball dad stop me today and talk sports, and he was just about Central. That's where his son played, and he's graduated this past spring. But he's so excited. He's like, Central is going to just reboot. And
they just keep reloading.
Yes. So he was so excited, even though his son's not part of it anymore. The tradition is there. So Central is having, we said it last year, how many weeks? And weeks, every week we talked about
championships.
That they just keep winning championships, and it's just definitely their year. And it seems like this might be, the second year. They're just reloading.
And I think when you look, we talked about Model. They've got some really good soccer players. Berea's got some really good. They had girls basketball last year. Had a lot of good individual talent. So just Madison County in general right now is a hotbed for just talented student athletes who are going to represent their schools but also represent the county very well. And, on Saturday we were there for those MCYFL games. Man, I tell you what, the future is bright. There was so many very young, this is third, fourth grade, fifth grade, very young, fun, talented football players out there that we're going to see in a few years.
And not just around here, but some in Lexington. They played at Lexington School. They were top 6 in the nation, according to someone who had talked about. So, they're in Madison County's kids, they kept up with them, and it was competitive. And it's that wasn't the case a long time ago. You couldn't do that. And I wonder if the talent has been brought in by population more moving here, and with more winning, more people will come, and it'll continue to grow and get better at all the schools.
Well, it's definitely a fun time to be a sports fan here locally, and there's a reason there's so many different sports topics to talk about, sports shows, because, listen, there are a lot of talented individual players on here, and they all deserve to be covered in their own way, so we appreciate them
and you hope
giving
Saturday,
us a chance to talk to them.
So you hope Saturday was a great fundraiser, because Friday night there was a good turnout for the Roy Kidd Bowl.
There was people there all day long watching football we started at 3 o'clock all the way up until the wee hours of the night when I think there was a lightning delay for the Madison Middle Breathitt County game. game. That kind of pretty much ended the day, but there was a lot of folks there watching those young games as well.
It's a great fundraiser for the Madison Central football team, so that's good.
Let's step aside for one last commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk some more local high school sports. We'll talk about we'll preview the upcoming games for Madison Central, Southern, and Berea football. And EKU Fan Day is coming up on Saturday. Dawson was over there this past Saturday for the last maroon-white scrimmage before Fan Day. We'll talk about that as well when we come back here live on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Coquedet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Locally family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation. With 24/7 emergency services, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. And unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Back here live on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Special thanks to our great sponsors like Jack Burford Chevrolet, folks. Getting more vehicles out here on the lot, Samantha. That's a good sign.
They're coming in, especially this one behind us.
Oh, yeah. If you want,
that we're not allowed to
I'm
touch.
afraid to even breathe too close to it. It's that nice of a car. It's the Grand Sport Corvette. Get online, jackburford.com. Check out the entire inventory.
That
and check
won't
out
be here
this
next
baby
week
as
when
well.
we come.
No, I'm hoping that you buy it for me when we get off the air.
I was hoping you were going to buy it for me.
No, you've already got a nice vehicle out there. We also want to say thank you to Nuevo Vallarta, the best authentic Mexican food around. Nuevo, right here on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond, was over there over the weekend. And they're always so busy because they have got the best Mexican food in Madison County. Check them out right here on Big Hill Avenue. The law office of Patrick O'Neill, folks, if you need legal advice and workers' compensation, criminal defense cases, right now Patrick is also helping those folks up in Eastern Kentucky with those FEMA applications. There's a lot of people up there have been denied by FEMA with all the flooding and everything going on. If you need to make an appeal or if you have questions about your FEMA application, check out the law office of Patrick O'Neill. Like them on Facebook as well to stay up to date with everything going on there. We're also brought to you by Richmond Raceway, so they had a great showing over the weekend, and that's a cool place. And it's right now the perfect time to be a Richmond Raceway fan because the weather's starting to cool down. If you're looking for something to do on the weekends, you don't want to come out and watch high school football, or if your favorite team is out on the road.
It's a big race on Saturdays usually,
exactly.
so you can come to the games on Friday and then go there on Saturday.
Richmond Raceway. They do a Facebook Live show as well to keep you up to date with everything going on at Richmond Raceway. And, of course, Bishop Small Engine Repair right here in Richmond on North Estill Avenue. Samantha, if you have an issue with your current mower or it's time to buy a new mower, check out Bishop Small Engine Repair right here in Richmond. We talked about the high school football games from this past weekend. Well, now let's preview the games coming up on this Friday. Berea will travel to Nicholas County, who got a big win over Owen County, 29-7. Tate Letcher, their quarterback, not a great game for him. 8 of 14, threw an interception. But Alex Codair, that was their tailback. They ran for 262 yards in the win. Codair ran for 105 on 14 carries. And Andrew Watkins, my cousin, just kidding, not really my cousin, but he ran for 95 on 13 carries and a touchdown. So Berea's got to find a way to stop the run if they want to win this upcoming Friday night.
And that's away again.
Yep, on the road.
Yeah, they're
Berea on the road
again
for their first 3 games this year.
Well, I'm looking forward to actually getting to Berea so that we can do a game because, with Coach Parks being his second season, he's really been, while we were there doing the preview shows, he was really teaching them again and again. Fundamentals and how, because every year keeps getting new players and building the team, so that's exciting. That the numbers, that was one of the goals last year, was to keep growing this team. So I'm excited to actually watch them, and I think they're just going to continue getting better and better.
It helps that they're starting the year on the road because that's a way you can build maturity in a team and experience and chemistry when you're faced in these tough situations. That's a good test for Berea.
Berea has lost to Nicholas County. Listen to these scores. The last time they played was 2018. Nicholas County won 50-0. They had a forfeit in 2017. Nicholas County won. In 2016, Nicholas County won 59-8, and in 2015, 60-0. So they've had a lot of success against Berea, especially here lately. We'll see if that continues this upcoming week. Now, Madison Central will be at home again. They will face Paul Lawrence Dunbar, a team they beat twice last year. So it'll be interesting to see if Dunbar's coming in with a little bit of revenge on their mind after beating East Jessamine 47-20. There could be a lot of points on the scoreboard this Friday night at Madison Central.
Yeah, their quarterback, he was 23 of 41 in passing for 240 yards and 2 touchdown passes this past week.
Yeah, Teal is a good player. 2 touchdowns. You talked about the 240 yards. And then Cole Colony, 175 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. They run for 254. So Madison Central's run defense, Kenyatta Harge, those linebackers, got to be very prepared to face the ground game from Dunbar, who has, again, after back-to-back losses last year, they're going to come in with revenge on their mind.
Especially with one of those losses being in the region championship on the road. And Central kind of had their way with them. And so take that other loss at the beginning. They want to beat these guys. They've seen them before. They know how they play a little bit, so they're wanting to win. But I don't know. Central's really good, too, so Dunbar's going to have to bring their A game, I think.
Somebody that we didn't talk about earlier in the show is Morin.
Oh, yeah, good to see him back, the kicker,
How exciting. I mean, he nailed it. I'm knocking on wood again because I don't want to jinx anybody because, I was just super proud of him. He had the responsibility, and he went for it. He got us some great yardage.
Well, Central has not lost to Dunbar since 2013. They beat them 25-12 in 2014, 47-6 in 2015, and, of course, last year the 2 wins, 43-7 in the regional championship game and then 34-24 in the regular season. So Central has had their way with Dunbar. We'll see if that changes this upcoming Friday night. Now, Madison Southern, after that loss, that heartbreaking loss to Southwestern, how will they recover? They will face GRC, a district opponent of Madison Central. We are very familiar with the GRC team. Southern got to find a way to rebound and get a big one on the road Friday night.
GRC's pretty tough, them being 6A, but I don't know. I just have this feeling that Southern can go in there and knock them off, knock off a 6A team, surprise a lot of people. I just have a weird feeling about it. I don't know too much about GRC's team this year. Well, of course, we saw them play Central last year, but I get this weird feeling Southern's going to do something special Friday night, get a big road win.
Well, I said earlier they beat Cooper 28-0. I'm not very familiar with Cooper and how their style of play is.
Well, Cooper in the past was good, but now GRC, I mean, yeah, they won 28-0. Their stats don't really pop off to you, though.
Right.
Maxwell, their quarterback, just 10 of 14 for 114 yards. Not a huge day throwing the ball. They do run as a team for 227 yards, but nobody had over 100 yards rushing in the game. So I think Southern, if they can establish their own run game early, Whitehead ran the ball well this past Friday, but never had, one of those big runs. We'll see if they can get him going early and often this past or
and
this
I
upcoming
feel like
Friday.
they're going to predict that Whitehead's coming at them. I mean, so I think Southern's going to have to find somebody else to get in there and go, okay, we're not throwing or we're not going to give the ball to Whitehead.
Yeah, you can use him as a decoy. Use him as a decoy because you've got weapons. You got Sullivan, who didn't see much action Friday with the football in his hands, but you've got him. You've also got
Rodriguez
and Jayshon Etheridge. I mean, get the ball in the hands of Jayshon Etheridge, who is a stud athlete, and I think that he could be a lot of fun to watch and be a guy that I think Eagles fans can rely on this year to provide the big plays that Walter Smith had provided before graduating last year. And, of course, Walter tore his ACL last year.
And I'm excited to see Ethan Woods, too, and watch him develop and grow. Yes.
So that's what we got this week, folks. And how about this? All three of our coverage area teams face teams who won in the first week of the season. So tough challenges await all three teams this upcoming Friday night. Now, before we go off the air, we do want to tell you once again about EKU football. They are hosting their annual Fan Day event this upcoming Saturday, August 27th. Doors will open at 5 p.m. with an open scrimmage scheduled for 7 p.m. Colonel fans of all ages are invited for a chance to meet the EKU football team before the season begins. And this is a free event. So bring the family out. They're going to have inflatables for the kids inside and outside, a photo backdrop for pictures, and a live DJ. They're going to have food trucks from Sandwich Man Express, Piggin' Out, and Poppy's Ice Cream will be stationed in the RV lot. And fans will receive free ice cream vouchers for the first 100 fans in attendance. So all kinds of cool things taking place this upcoming Saturday night at Roy Kidd Stadium. Bring the family out, watch some EKU football, and get hyped for the upcoming season, which starts next week. EKU football is on the horizon as well.
I'm pretty hyped because I stood in the press box with Coach Wells for a few minutes and talked to him. He's hyped. He's hyped watching Madison Central.
You know what?
So I was hyped.
I was excited, and I thought it was pretty cool. There were, Coach Kidd's there, obviously. It's the Roy Kidd Bowl. Walt Wells there hanging out with him. A lot of EKU players were at the game. I saw Shane Burks, Dak Allen, Tucker Schroeder was there, and those guys were they came up in the press box to see their head coach. Like, hey, we're here watching this game. We know Wells is here. We want to talk to him. So they went out and
they came up
and talked to him in the press
and
box.
I felt
that was pretty
extremely
cool.
short and small.
Well, Dawson, they looked good in their scrimmage on Friday as well. And one thing that I've noticed about EKU football during the two scrimmages that you and I have been to, they have got athletes all over the field, and these guys are making the right play during these scrimmages.
And they just have a lot of good energy in these practices. I was saying they're hyping each other up. No one's watching them, but they're acting like they're in a game. Like, great stop, defense. They're really excited for this year.
Well, and they're competing against one another. The offense competing against the defense, and vice versa. So it's pretty cool to see what these guys are doing out there. They've got a big game coming up on the road, Eastern Michigan. Now, here's the thing.
Very big game.
They're playing on Friday night next week. It's the same night that Madison Central and Madison Southern play. So a big night of football here in the area. Now, keep in mind that that game is on the road. So if you're an EKU fan, keep up with that game on your phone. And that Friday night, a big one over in Berea, Madison Central,
come to Madison Southern.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
you can see the new turf, the new lights.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
The Fan Day event this Saturday. If you want to visit EKUsports.com, you can get more information on there. And don't forget to purchase your season tickets now for EKU football. That link is also on the website. Folks, we appreciate you joining us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Copeland Peterson, our producer tonight. First time he's been full-time producer. Copeland did a great job tonight. Appreciate him joining the staff here at WBON. And Gage Hill, I don't know what
I can do everything.
Yeah, exactly. Him and Dawson, we couldn't survive without those two guys. So we appreciate you guys as well tonight. For Dawson Rule, special thanks to the model soccer team for coming over as well. She is Samantha Burford. I'm Michael Watkins. We'll see you next time on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.